Okay. Why do you think the Bergs are so heavily involved in the book?
And like essentially like helicopters, you know, they're like the fastest mode of transportation that still works.
Mm-hmm.
That's not walking or running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's important because like that they wouldn't be able to get like anywhere or escape without it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like protection sometimes. I mean, not always, because like they got yahoos, you know, jump all over.
Yeah. I mean, it does get them from place to place like pretty quick.
Yeah, I think it was kind of like to show how like they were still in the future because obviously we don't have Bergs like that.
Yeah.
So it helped like put you in like a time frame of when this is happening. Why does Mark appreciate his friend so much?
Because he saved his life. Oh, all of them?
Yeah.
Because like I think Trina keeps him sane, and like Alec and like Lana a lot keep him alive.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think like
It feels like he owes them.
yeah, and I feel like they all like work together. I mean, like I feel like they wouldn't like be as successful as they are at like surviving without like having each other.
Yeah. All right. Last one. How does Mark's view of protecting Dee Dee affect how he acts?
Um, I think he like since he protects her, he's more focused on her than like everyone else, and he's not really focused on everyone else's like good as much as like her.
Yeah, I think he's less focused on himself when he's like with her. Usually he's always thinking about Trina, but like when they were coming out of the basement, you know,
Yeah.
once he rescued them, like he didn't really care about Trina that much. He was more about like keeping Dee Dee alive and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
My turn. Yes,
No.
yes. What do you mean no?
I thought Rafe was gonna turn off, but no.
Yeah, no. What are you talking
Gotta go fast.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
about? All right. If you'd like to flip to page 21. It's a joke. All right.
It's a joke.
He was still frozen, watching as the first shot was fired from above. A blur of movement, a quick flash of something dark and small and fast bursting from one of those tubes. Mark's eyes followed the trajectory. He heard a sinking thunk. His head twisted to the side just in time to see that Darnell had a 5-inch long dart sticking out of his shoulder. This was obviously when the bird came and everybody's all crowding around it, right? Wondering if it's like, it's the gods or something, right? And then they come out and start shooting everybody with darts. That's pretty much sets the story up, where everybody gets the flare.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of how like they kind of first get introduced like to that like whole like world of like craziness kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important that like Darnell got shot, so that if it was like some random person, I don't think they would have cared that much. But because it was Darnell, they
Yeah,
had to keep.
and he
looking
was the
after him.
first one too.
Yeah. And he was well, like he didn't die at 1st, unlike all the other people. So it like showed how bad the virus could actually get.
Just gotta find it. Probably should have been looking for it. Alright, we'll skip that one. I'll come back.
Go into another one.
They started dragging him down the slope of the mountain towards the fire. So this is when he got captured by all the weird worshiping yahoos, you know, that are in the middle of the forest jumping around, you know, because they all got infected by the flare. And this is when they get separated from Dee Dee, Lana, and Trina. So that's like a huge part of the book because, like, after that, like, their whole idea is to go find them, and that's why they go to the bunker. I mean, they're going there anyway, but that's like another big reason they go to the bunker, and that's another reason why they go, you know, towards Asheville, because that's where they were taking them, and they gave them back to the Yahoos. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. You basically described it.
Mark had it. His every instinct told him so. No wonder his head had been hurting so bad. He had the flare. This is when Mark kind of concluded that he had the flare. I mean, he knew he would get it,
Mhm.
so like he wasn't very surprised. But like, it really like this was like the moment, you know. After this, he kind of started in certain moments, you know, losing his sanity and stuff.
Yeah, and this is where like really like sunk in. Like, I got the flare. No.
Yeah, I think that was like interesting because I wouldn't think that the author would actually give him the flare because he was the main character. So that basically meant he was going to kill the main character. And I thought that maybe it was some sort of like trickery. Maybe he just had a bad headache and he didn't actually have the flare. But
Yeah.
in the end,
No.
Yeah, back to the one. A little girl was walking towards them from the direction of the dead. She must have been 5 or 6 years old, with matted dark hair and filthy clothes. So this is when they first found Dee Dee, and she was talking about how all the people, they ran away from her and left her, and then they, Lana and Alec and them were asking why they left her, and then she just showed them the scar on her shoulder of where she got shot by a dart. So they were super surprised that she wasn't dead, and pretty much concluded that she was immune, and that was pretty much their mission from then, to get her to the people that hopefully make the cure.
Mm-hmm. It kind of gave them like something to fight for at that point. Like when they realized like she's immune.
and that basically like made the whole rest of the book is her survival.
Yeah. Yeah. It gave them something to live for.
So, in this next one, it's in one of Mark's dreams when they're in the Lincoln building. The man takes in a deep pull of air, and now I expect you do what I say. This is when, after he shoots Baxter, Rip.
Yeah.
One of like the whole group is together before this,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the group is still together until the bird comes with the flare, like Misty and Toad and all them, and Darnell and stuff. So this is the first time one of their like group members, I guess, died. So, and
Wasn't this at the part where the guys at the ship?
yeah, this is like, I think them shooting Baxter really like made Mark and Alec mad, and kind of, because like if they didn't shoot Baxter, they probably wouldn't have fought back from the guy, like
Yeah.
telling them to get the stuff. But them shooting Baxter like made them like attack the guy, and eventually giving them the boat, which got them to the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, I thought that was important
Yeah.
because it like really the situation really set in that people were going. It's like it's not the flare, but people would do anything just to get food and water and
Yeah.
resources and stuff.
Yeah, because like all society basically like collapsed at that point.
Lana's suffering ended in a spray of gray mist. Rip. This is where Lana, one of the, I'd say, like kind of the main characters, like the 5 of them, like Alec, Mark, and
Yeah.
Lana, Trina, and Dee Dee. So this is like the first of the super main characters to die, and I mean this one was probably really big because they actually killed her. One of her friends killed her, and I think Alec killed her because she was like, he clearly said that she was like in pain and stuff, like pieces of her hair were missing and stuff, and
She had like a stab wound, so
Yeah, and
she
she
was
got
going
stabbed,
to
yeah,
die.
she was gonna
they couldn't
die.
do anything.
Yeah, and it was super like gruesome too.
So it just put her out of her misery.
yeah.
Which is just like the right thing to do, I guess.
This is big because like it really took a toll on
The rest.
Alec, because it was kind of like how Trina is to Mark. So I think Mark was like really understanding Alec, because he was like, well, what I think if I found out that Trina died, much less having to actually kill her.
Mhm. Is this the last one?
Oh,
Is this
one
the
more.
last- oh,
There's one more after this.
okay.
Alec told another, Alec took another laboring step forward. I'm sick, Mark. I'm really, really sick. I need to die, and I don't want to die for nothing. This is when Alec tells Mark that he's sick, so pretty much everybody's sick
Yeah.
now. And, I mean, that's really hurting Alec, because that's really hurting Mark, because Alec saved Mark's life so many times. So now
Yeah.
I think Alex feels like he's responsible, you know, to try to keep Alec alive.
You mean Marcus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Mark feels responsible to keep him.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So then, like, Mark realizes that he has to like step up because Alex like not
Yeah.
emotionally stable. It's not
Yeah.
like Mark is, but I
'Cause-
think he's less gone than Alec is.
Yeah, for sure.
'Cause-
And Alec kind of
yeah.
he kind of like hid it almost from everyone.
Because before this, like, Alec was like, you know, like the leader, and then Mark,
Mhm.
you know, kind of had to start stepping up because like, Alec wasn't like right in the mind anymore. All right, this is the last one. Monstrous noise and quaking took over the world, but he still heard. But he still heard what she whispered into his ear before the bird came crashing into the building. Mark. So this is at the very end when they put Dee Dee through the trans
Flat trans.
to get her to the place or whatever,
Mhm.
because she's immune, you know. And he gives her the note to say like, I'm immune, so like use me to help people out, you know.
Yep.
And then where the Alec takes the bird and crashes it into the building, you know, rip
Yeah.
good 3 people.
Yeah.
And I think this is big because it kills all the people that are following him from
Mhm.
the mountain, you know,
Yeah.
where they got the berg, that all the bad people are, and then it destroyed the that end of the trans, so no one else could get through.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
none of the infected people can infect anyone else.
Yeah.
Kind of like slowed down like the spread almost of the flare.
Because if they would have got through, then like
Yeah.
pretty much all of that would have been for no reason, and they would have been doomed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, now I'm gonna get to my researcher stuff. Anyways, okay, so James Dashner, he was born in 1972 in November. He's a writer and obviously a novelist, and he writes books. And he writes it. He was born in Georgia, Austell, Georgia, and he is a graduate of Duluth High School over there. And then he went to university in Utah in like the mountains. Do you think that has anything to do with like the Appalachia and stuff like that? Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of had to base it in the Appalachians because they had to get
Yeah.
somewhere where it was like cool enough so that they can actually live.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do think because they have like mountainous areas
Yeah.
over there. So.
And then like the whole like how he moved from like Georgia, which is, I mean, it's like kind of like the swampland sort of like with like Florida and stuff.
Intra-regional migration.
Exactly, human geo stuff. And then like he moved like migrated from a non-mountainous area to a mountainous area.
Yeah, like in the book, what they did.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's got like kind of a big family. Do you think like he's got like 6 people in his family, right? Do you think like the amount of people that they had like with them in their like group, like Mark and all them, like could like be connected with like their family and how like big it was, kind of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean like they didn't have like a huge group, but they had like a relatively big group.
Like how his family would have stuck together.
Yeah, and like how,
and it was like how in the book, like if you think about it, their group was kind of like a family, you know.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Alex
almost,
and
yeah.
Lana were like the mom, and like there was like 3 kids, you know, kind of.
Mhm.
They all had to like rely on each other to survive and everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're all
Yeah.
important.
Or I think like Alex and Lana were almost like the older like siblings to like them,
Mhm.
because they were like more like mentors.
Yeah, like if mom and dad are away, as in like
yeah,
the whole population
Yeah.
basically,
yeah.
then they have to take care of all the younger kids.
Mhm.
You know, roasted, literally.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, yeah, and that could also be like kind of connected with like how he has his family and he has like 4 children too, and that could be kind of connected with that. I mean, there's nothing really else about him. There isn't much. And he wrote a bunch of books, but that's basically it. There's not much information on him.